John, this is why I'm worried about our cities. Now, I actually like cities. I enjoy myself. I like the country too. I like it all. I think cities are an important part of any nation. Your nation's known by its cities. And I see our cities going through a death spiral, and I don't see how they pull out of it. Because as you mentioned, they just keep going and voting Democrat, next Democrat up, next Democrat up. Well, not only do you have that, you have more violent criminals on the streets, and you have fewer cops. Philadelphia is 1,300 police officers short. All my friends in the NYPD, I know you have many as well, they talk about not just the retirements, it's the studs who are retiring. They're done. They're going to go walk a beat in the Florida suburbs or go do private security. They're going to go do something else. So the quality of the cop is going down. The number of the cops are going down. The number of violent criminals are going up. I don't see like we're about to hit some bottom. This thing keeps going down, right?
Dude, this is why we're friends. I mean, you're one of the few guys that understands that nuance that you just hit. It's so critically important. Your best NYPD cops, your Boston cops, your Chicago cops, your LA cops, they're coming to Florida. They're going to Texas, right? Because we have governors, we have sheriffs, elected sheriffs, when they go to work for these agencies who treat them well, who back them up, who pay them a living wage, who don't throw them under the bus if they take police action and do what they were trained to do. Look, anecdotally, I was in New York City. I had a meeting last Tuesday in Manhattan. I grew up there. I policed New York City. It was my home. My family lives 30 minutes away. And I walked out of an office building in Midtown, prime real estate, premier block, and I was going to a very well-known steakhouse for lunch. I made a right out of the building, and 3 junkies, one with a needle in his arm, almost fell off scaffolding on top of me. Another one was urinating in a doorway and then went to this steakhouse, very well-known steakhouse on 6th Avenue, that at lunchtime would normally be packed. You couldn't get a seat at the bar. You couldn't get a table. Was maybe half full at best. So if New York is falling, and I don't see how that city comes back, the rest of the cities in this nation are right behind. A good friend of mine, a very high net worth guy down here in Florida, just sold his last piece of real estate in Chicago where he grew up, has no reason to ever go back. His words to me, we were on a hunting trip in Texas 2 weekends ago, a clay shooting trip, and he said, this is the new America. This is where we need to be. I have no reason to ever go back to Chicago. Same way I feel about New York. So it's a sad thing. You're right. Cities are great, but they've pushed all the normals, all of us normal, productive Americans out in favor of people who are drains on society.
Gosh, that is so sad. Because unlike many, I love New York City. It was one of my favorite places in the world. I just flying in there put a smile on my face. And I've got to go back soon for a work thing. John, I'm dreading it. I've never once dreaded going to New York City. I don't want to go.
Don't miss Jesse Kelly Breaks History, Che Guevara, the latest episode of a new series available now exclusively for First TV supporters. Visit the First TV app or thefirsttv.com to subscribe and start watching today.